Now at 9, developing updates in the Goon Squad prosecutions, how each officer is facing sentencing.
Hear about a new bill impacting the homeless population in Florida.
Find out how one group is giving back through donations, specifically to the Muncie area.
Why an organization is raising awareness and providing education for one well-known condition.
It's quite windy today, but as those winds start to subside, we are seeing those temperatures drop very drastically. NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Local news about local people, live from Ball State Unified Media. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us here at NewsLink Indiana. I'm Alana Gaither.
And I'm Mira Bloomer. A fourth officer from a Mississippi County so-called Goon Squad was sentenced to 40 years in prison today for torturing 2 black men last year. Christian Dedman received the harshest sentence so far. Meanwhile, his co-defendant Daniel Opdyke received 17 years in prison along with mental health treatment and drug and alcohol treatment. Opdyke must also pay almost $80,000 in restitution to Eddie Parker and Michael Jenkins. The 2 former deputies were among 6 former officers who pleaded guilty last year to federal charges stemming from their warrantless raid and torture of Parker and Jenkins. The first 2 officers were sentenced on Tuesday. The final 2 officers will be sentenced Thursday.
These acts by Daniel Opdyke, they were sick, they were twisted, they have severely affected Mr. Jenkins and Mr. Parker, and again, they all come from the lack of leadership of the Rankin County Sheriff's Department under the leadership of Brian Bailey, and the lack of accountability from Rankin County supervisors over a rogue sheriff's department.
And we are thankful that he received the total sentence of 210 months, which was the maximum under the sentencing guidelines and the recommendation of a very strong prosecution in this case, and we're thankful for that. So we look forward to the judge continuing his pattern of consistency, which it looks like he is going to do in this case.
Lawyers for former President Donald Trump are requesting a pause on at least 5 civil lawsuits linked to the January 6th riot. According to court filings, Trump's legal team says their trial strategy in Trump's criminal case could be compromised if the civil suits go forward. They're also calling for the judge to wait for the U.S. Supreme Court's decision on presidential immunity in the criminal case. The High Court will look at Trump's argument about a president having complete immunity from criminal charges. The judge isn't expected to make a decision about whether the cases should move forward until all of the related briefings are filed next month.
And now an update on last night's report about the controversial Texas immigration law. It is bouncing back and forth between the highest court in the land.
And a panel of federal appeals judges are hearing legal arguments about it today. Laura Aguirre has more on Texas Senate Bill 4, what it is and what could happen next.
Texas is in a legal tug-of-war. Governor Greg Abbott wants to start enforcing SB 4, the state's new immigration law that he signed last year. It empowers state and local law enforcement to detain people they suspect of entering the U.S. illegally. But it's facing a myriad of legal challenges from the Biden administration and other groups. And while those court battles play out, the U.S. Supreme Court issued a temporary order Tuesday allowing Texas to enforce SB 4. But hours later, a federal appeals court slammed the brakes on that, and the governor pushed back Wednesday.
Texas has a right to defend ourselves, and we will use that authority to declare an invasion and fight back against that invasion.
No SB 4! SB 4 has sparked protests, and critics say it greenlights racial profiling. After Tuesday's legal maneuvering, some cities moved quickly to allay those fears.
We don't want our deputies making arrests unless somebody has actually committed a crime.
It can be just by seeing somebody and the officer thinking that he's not from here and then asking for documents. It doesn't work like that.
But exactly how it will work is now back in the hands of the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, for now, with the governor, the state, and the eyes of the nation watching.
What Texas is doing on immigration would be akin to them declaring their own wars, would create massive confusion across not just Texas, but other states.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
During oral arguments today, the federal appeals panel signaled that it may allow some of SB 4 to take effect, even if other parts remain blocked for now. A final decision has not yet been made.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill today making it illegal for homeless people to camp in public places. The measure also sets up a program where local governments can set up special camping areas for homeless people. Anyone using those encampments is prohibited from using illegal drugs or alcohol. Regional entities are required to provide behavioral treatment service access if they want to set up an encampment. Miami Beach's mayor supports the measure, but critics say it only hides homelessness and doesn't actually help to solve the problem. The law takes effect October 1st.
Now we're going to head and go take a first look at weather. Jack?
Thank you so much. We do have a special weather statement that was actually just issued right before the show. Now it's going to be for a hard freeze this evening. National Weather Service has deemed this because we've been seeing a lot of warmer temperatures during the past couple weeks as well. And this has actually prematurely brought up some crops. So this is primarily for the farmers. Now, it could affect you too, because we have been seeing, especially around campus here, those daffodils have already started to shoot up and start to bloom. So if you do have any plants or flowers out tonight, be sure to take measures to protect them from that frost. Because look at this, these are our low temperatures for tonight. Here in Muncie, we're going to hit a low of 23 degrees. Quite cold there. Even colder up in Fort Wayne at 22. Indianapolis is just going to hit a low temperature of 25. I'll have a little more in my full forecast.
Earlier this afternoon, a blood drive took place at Pruitt Hall. NewsLink Indiana's Amelia Winter has more.
Blood, an essential need for the human body and its functions. People every day are in need of blood donations, and today, Ball State University, along with the Angels for Life Committee, provided an opportunity for students and community members to give back to the Blood Center, Versity. The Blood Center has several locations across the United States. However, today their donations were going to a specific location.
We supply blood to this area. We supply blood to the entire state of Indiana, but specifically to this area as well. And so all of the products that we collect here today are going back into the community.
Donating blood might not be the first idea people think of when giving back. However, it is crucial to recognize the impact the donation can have on someone you may not even know.
Blood is one of the few tissues of the body that we can't actually replicate, nor can we substitute chemically. So it's very important for us to come out, to be able to donate, or at least willing to donate.
For freshman Brooke Flanders, today was not her first time donating blood, but in fact, her third time.
I'm a nursing major, so I just feel like since I'm going into that healthcare field, I should kind of try to give back to it as much as I can.
If you want to find more information about donating or giving back, then check out versity.org for more. In Muncie, Amelia Winter, NewsLink, Indiana.
If you were not able to make it to today's blood drive, there will be one more on May 21st.
Earlier today, the Dementia Friends Initiative held a session educating community members on dementia. Our Sophie Schick has the details.
Dementia is an umbrella term that withstands a lot of misconception and stigma. Dementia Friends Indiana is one program that's looking to change that. Led by LifeStream's Caregiver Program Coordinator Tia Drum, the session explained what dementia is, the signs and symptoms of it, how to better communicate, and more. While the session revolved around supporting those living with dementia, Drum also highlighted how supporting the caregivers is equally as important.
You know, we can't have one person that has a whole village around them that cares for them, and then kind of have someone on the outskirts that we're not examining how they feel.
It also takes a village to educate the masses on dementia. Session attendees came together to work in their notebooks and learn together. Outside, the air was cold. Inside, hearts were warm, and not just because of the refreshments. The interactive presentation was full of laughs and stories. Tia Drum had her own story to tell.
With my grandmother in particular, living with her dementia, you know, if she tells me that the sky is purple, I'm going to respond with, and isn't it the most beautiful shade?
If there's one thing Drum wanted the audience to take away from today, it's that you are not alone. Drum capitalized on just how important it is to have a support system, whether you're living with dementia or giving care to a loved one.
You don't have to go through this journey by yourself. And I don't think that this is a journey to be on by yourself either.
The Dementia Friends community is looking to grow by immersing itself in the public and educating more people. To learn more, go to dementiafriends.org. In Muncie, Sophie Schick, NewsLink, Indiana.
To become a dementia friend, you can attend a live info session either virtually or in person. The next meeting is March 26th at By Hand and Fork in Muncie.
President Biden and former President Obama are teaming up to organize supporters of the Affordable Care Act this weekend to mark its 14th anniversary. It comes as the Biden campaign looks to seize on former President Trump's repeated threats to repeal Obamacare if he is elected. Biden, Obama, and former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will hold a national organizing call Saturday to mobilize supporters around protecting Obamacare from Trump's attacks. The campaign also plans to hold more than 20 in-person events in battleground states with local elected officials and individuals benefiting from the health care law starting Thursday.
Coming up, what invention the popular weight loss brand Ozempic is working on.
And how the thread may get pulled on a fabric store. All that and more after the break.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, love you always.
Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Man, it's lonely. Like, going through life lonely.
There is the therapeutic aspect of music, just expressing how you feel. I'm going to talk to Howie about his feelings, make it into a song.
The maker of the blockbuster weight loss drug Ozempic and Wegovy is funding a new supercomputer. The Novo Nordisk Foundation awarded a contract to computing company Evident to build the supercomputer. It will be powered by NVIDIA artificial intelligence technology using the company's latest computer chips. The powerful new supercomputer will be used to discover new medications and treatments. Evident says it will be one of the most powerful in the world, with the ability to process vast amounts of data. It is expected to be ready for pilot projects before the end of the year.
The FCC says it is investigating Amazon and other retailers for the alleged marketing and selling of wireless signal jammers. The devices are illegal to use, sell, or market in the U.S. The agency confirmed the probe in a statement today, but did not say which other retailers were being investigated. Amazon did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The news of the investigation comes after NBC News reported that signal jammers were apparently available online on Amazon's marketplace.
Fabric and craft retailer Joann has filed for bankruptcy. It's a Chapter 11 filing, which helps the company reduce its debt so it can reorganize. JOANN plans to leave all of its more than 800 stores and website open for business. The chain received $132 million in new funding that reduces JOANN's debt by half. JOANN, which has been around for 81 years, has been in trouble for some time.
Popular toy maker Mattel announced today plans to open a second theme park. Mattel Adventure Park Kansas City will be in Bonner Springs, Kansas, and will be a licensing partnership with Epic Resort Destinations. Construction is scheduled to break ground later this year, and the park is set to open in 2026. The park will have the attractions like those at Mattel Adventure Park in Glendale, Arizona. That includes Hot Wheels, roller coasters, and a larger-than-life Barbie beach house. There will also be a Barbie-themed flying theater and the Barbie rooftop restaurant and bar. Last but not least, fans will be able to enjoy He-Man vs. Skeletor laser tag in a giant arena made to resemble the iconic castle Grayskull Fortress.
Now, we've been dealing with these very dry temperatures around the map. Look at that, only 15 degrees for a dew point, but we will have some relief coming up. I'll let you know exactly when.
As a dad, every day is a challenge. To make sure that the time that I have, I spend with them. It doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to try to teach them. When they learn something new and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
Oh man, I can't believe I'm missing this. Okay, Grandma. I see you.
Don't get stuck at home with the flu. A flu shot is the best way to prevent the flu and its potentially serious complications. It keeps you, your community, and loved ones protected. Don't get flu FOMO. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Can't believe you're doing this alone.
I've done it before.
I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up?
Hand me that board.
Nothing wrong with getting help.
I'm good.
I did it when Felicia left.
I'll figure it out.
I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
It can be a real pain sometimes, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm weather forecaster Jack Van Meter. Now, taking a step outside today and this past week, it's actually been very dry. I mean, personally, I've been carrying around a tub of Vaseline because my lips are just chapping up. But looking at these dew point temperatures, we can really see how dry it really is. 15 degrees here in Muncie. We usually use dew point in the summer to describe humidity. Now we're looking at it to see the lack of water that is in the atmosphere. So it's kind of crazy to see how dry we are. We've just seen that massive Canadian air mass move over and just sit on top of us. Thankfully, though, we do have changes on the way as of Friday. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at some temperatures around the map. We're just at the freezing mark here in Muncie at 32 degrees, 29 up in Fort Wayne, and 39 down in Indianapolis. So if anybody's headed out tonight, be sure to just grab that big coat as you head out the door today. To kind of put today, though, into perspective, our high that we hit today was only 47 degrees. It was kind of cold when you look at our actual average high for this time of year of just 54 degrees. Quite cold out there, as you may have seen a couple of those daffodils actually blow up around campus. They're quite pretty. Taking a look at current radar, we're not seeing much of anything, and that's going to be the main story for our forecast for tonight. So for your forecast, a very cold low of only 23 degrees tonight. Mostly clear and breezy conditions. We've been dealing with the wind as well these past couple of days. Thankfully, tonight is going to be the last time we really have to see it. Only gusting at times up to 20 miles an hour. Throughout the day today, we actually saw a couple gusts in the high 30s. So thankfully, we are stepping away from that. Looking at the temperatures, though, for tomorrow, I'm just going to step off screen for a second there. We can see that we are going to be quite cold tomorrow morning. Look at that, 8 a.m., only 25 degrees, only hitting 32 degrees by 11 a.m. tomorrow. It's going to be quite cold, and when you factor in just a little breeze that we will be seeing tomorrow, it's going to make all the difference in the world. Again, we'll go at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Look at that. It's going to feel like just 20 degrees tomorrow morning. Again, so keep that big coat that you have today. You're going to need it tomorrow. Hopefully, we can get rid of it by Friday. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at that raw 7-day forecast just after the tomorrow graphic, because I forgot the order of the show. That's my bad there. Again, warming up. We're also going to see a lot of sun tomorrow as well. Have that to look forward to now. Now, going ahead and looking at our precision cast, just timing out some weather that we're seeing for Friday. We are looking at a system moving from the west here. As we can see, Friday evening, we're looking at our impacts. As we can see, this is a large system, cold air behind it, so we may see some snow mix in early Saturday morning with the system. So just kind of keep that in mind. We're going on a roller coaster once again. Look at the high for Friday here, 63 degrees. We are going to see that system move in Friday night into Saturday. Should be out of here by Saturday morning. Going to be dealing with a lot of sun actually for Saturday evening would be kind of nice, and then also we'll be seeing some clouds return again for Sunday.
Yes, for sure. I've been pulling out my coat, my scarf, even my hat.
I know, I'm ready to get rid of it. Thank you so much, Jack. Let's give it to Andy for sports.
2 Cardinal squads look to defend the nest as one high school baseball team looks to land back on top. All this and more next in sports.
It's something about having that piece of paper. Some people think that's worth more than my skills.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
You just gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Analytics and empathy. That's how I've gained clients.
I am more.
I'm more
than who I am on paper.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo. Gracias. Thank you. What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
At night, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed. But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, bringing you up to speed on the day's top stories.
And giving you up-to-the-minute conditions from the Ball State Weather Center.
And of course, lots of fun.
I gave mine personality. Look, it's got eyebrows.
Ooh.
My lucky glove didn't even work.
But I also am excited for those fall temperatures.
Start your Friday mornings with Cardinal Weather, live on the Cardinal Weather Facebook page.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Andy Newman with sports. After missing out on the NCAA tournament, Ball State women's basketball pencils their name into the first ever WBIT tournament. After a 28-5 season, the Cardinals cement themselves as the 4th seed and play host to the Belmont Bruins tomorrow in Worthen Arena. This appearance will mark the 9th postseason tournament for head coach Brady Sallee. He has led the Cardinals to 9 in his 12 years at the helm. Sallee and his squad will gear up to take on the Bruins with tip-off set for 4 p.m. To keep things inside Worthen, men's volleyball hosts the Ohio State Buckeyes tomorrow night. This will be the second meeting of the two in the MIVA foes this year. The Cardinals take care of business last time in their first meeting, winning on the road in 4 sets, but the Buckeyes still hold the all-time lead between the two programs, 103-93. The Cards look to stay atop of the MIVA standings at 9-1. The matchup will start tomorrow at 7 p.m. Indiana high school baseball is right around the corner, and the Shenandoah Raiders look to build off last year's impressive season. NewsLink Indiana's DeBar Robinson heads out to Shenandoah High School to learn more.
Coming up short last season 2-1 against Hagerstown, the Shenandoah Raiders are putting everything on the line to make sure that this year's team takes their season far into June. Senior Ethan Loy and sophomore Drew Fredenberg have expectations for this team to make All-County and pass sectionals.
I'm pretty excited. I think we'll win conference. We've been up short. We came up short sectionals for the past 3 years, so hopefully this year we can win it.
I think we can 100% win conference this year. It's an expectation here. I think we'll win county, and I'm ready to make a deep run this year.
Being first in their conference with a 22-4 record, the Raiders had one of their best seasons in the past 10 years, but got cut short at sectionals. The squad also lost 5 seniors over the offseason, but head coach Ryan Painter feels a little adversity will force this team to step up to the plate with their heads held high this season.
Yeah, last year we had a very good year. It was one of the better years that we've ever had in the program, but unfortunately we didn't win our sectional. That's always a big goal of ours. Replacing those 5 seniors, and they were all starters, is a tough task. But we've had kids that have been here since December with us, and they've put in a lot of work. We're confident in the ability that they have. We just need them to find the confidence in themselves and day in and day out to be able to consistently produce in the field, and we think we can get that.
With a new season means a new start. The question at stake is if the Raiders can make it over the hump. The answer is in their hands. In Middletown, DeMar Robinson, NewsLink, Indiana.
The Raiders will take the mound for regular season play next Tuesday at 5 p.m. at Southwood. Now, obviously, baseball season right around the corner, but March Madness right now. Have you filled out your brackets for the NewsLink Indiana pool?
No. I had to get it done. My family was getting on me about it.
Please do it. Yes,
yes,
please
I
do
would
it.
do it. Thank you, Andy.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And let's go ahead and take our final look at weather.
After the break.
Attacks against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are on the rise.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer. In terms of the hate crimes, I think there is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I'm definitely ready to throw away my winter jacket. I can't deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
Yes, Jack, please tell us what you have for us.
I tell you what, I do have a little bit of relief. We are going to be warming up back into the 60s by Friday. That being said, it's going to come as a double-edged sword, though, because we're going to be warming up Friday evening. We're going to see those temperatures start to take a crash. So we can see we're only going to hit a high of 44 on Saturday as well. And then look at next week. We have rain in the forecast Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So spring is finally here, everybody.
Absolutely. Those flowers are needed. Thank you so much, Jack.
Thank you. And that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, just go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night and stay safe.